Former NFL player Chad Johnson is realizing that when it comes to parenting, there's no playbook. Chad recently shared a text conversation that he had with his daughter where she asked him for some Yeezys, which we all know don't come cheap. And Chad replied by asking her, why didn't she get a job like he had back in high school when he worked at McDonald's? And when she pushed back asking him how he expected her to work a job while she's also juggling school and sports, Chad said he would be able to make it work just fine. He said he used to bus to and from school and football practice and his job, all while maintaining a 2.2 GPA. Chad captioned his tweet by saying, "Kids don't understand the sacrifice it takes." So ladies, do you applaud this approach, or is he making his daughter's life harder than it has to be? Or more specifically, would you want your kids to suffer or go through the same pain that you went through when you were growing up?
Darcel?
It's a different world. It's a different world. I mean, yeah, I would like my kids to struggle a little bit more, and every now and then I try to wait for the gratification. If they want something, make them wait for it, make them earn it, just because it's a different world, right?
Yeah.
But I also feel like I just had this conversation just yesterday about how kids nowadays, if they don't want to do anything, they're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. And it's
they give
but
up.
they're in life, how many things do we do throughout the day that we don't necessarily want to do, but we have
Lord
to
Jesus.
do, right? You got to show up for your job. You got to, be on your game. You got to be professional. All those things. And some days you have off days, right? So I think the struggle is so different that we have to find ways to implement it, because they can't just go out like we used to and ride the bike and go to the store. All those things that we did that made us value what we have, it's not the same. We're giving them a different life.
How are you being intentional? And I'm so curious about this because I feel like my sister and I have these conversations all the time, just as a family, how different we grew up versus how my nieces are being raised. And what are we doing to help them still have work ethic and drive and the drive to do the things that they have to do, not necessarily the things that they want to do. How do you instill that in children when they don't have that same struggle? So I'm so curious how you're doing
That's the hardest thing. I almost feel like kids who struggle more have more appreciation for what they have. So I think, again, it's making them work for it. It's making them, clean their rooms, like little things that you can do that are not the same because you've given them a good life, right? Yeah. But you have to instill, you know what? This weekend, we're not buying anything. We're not ordering out. We're cooking dinner. We're having family time. Any little thing that can make them feel like, Jade came up to me and he said, I want to get this game. How can I earn it? I was so excited that he said, how can I earn it? As opposed to, how can I have it? Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just little things you can do because it's a different time. It's not.
That also says that your sons are raised with great parenting. Like, you should applaud yourself. I need you to just do this real quick, because that means that came from you.
Hit yourself.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
it's
pat
hard,
yourself right here,
thank
girl.
You. Thank you.
But there are children that do want jobs, and a lot of those fast food jobs they can't get because they're not hiring kids anymore. I really I hope that they start, allotting a certain amount of jobs to those high schoolers so that they can, because now it's like regular adults are getting these jobs, and so now the kids don't have jobs, especially in the hood, Second thing I want to say is,
a lot of jobs away with automated, in the parking lot.
Exactly.
No one's there now anymore where a kid could get that
so we need jobs for our kids. And secondly, a 2.2 GPA, I was looking online, and people were trying to clown Chad because he said he had a 2.2. 2.2 is a passing grade, okay? You get a C, that's C average. C average gets degrees. So let's not clown somebody who was a footballer who, like he said, he did all these jobs and he maintained a 2.2. He did. I mean, it's like people got to understand. You got some people that's on honor roll that ain't working. Chad got money. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't be clowning people with 2.2.
Is that really their takeaway? I mean, he's talking about helping his kid and struggle. That's really their takeaway, is his 2.2?
Yeah. We joke around, and I say all these things, but obviously I'm not a mother yet in that sense. But I always tell my husband that I'm gonna do these certain things, and he always looks at me and goes, "No, you're not." But right now, for right now, I really do truly believe that there is a way. I think it's okay to tell children, like, no, mommy worked for her money. That's my money. That's not your money. Like, my money is my money. Like, that's not yours. And to recognize that, and I think to recognize that early on, that everything that mommy has isn't mine. I have to go out there and get my own. And I feel like if you instill that in your children, that their work ethic and what they end up being successful and their accomplishments are going to be theirs, and they shouldn't be attached to what mommy and daddy are able to supply you.
Well, that's what Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are saying, that they're not leaving their money.
I don't want no spoiled kids. That's my biggest fear, is having some spoiled
Don't.
brat kids that do not have a concept
You are not
of how
allowed.
hard we was busting our butts out here, okay?
Yeah,
You
but they
are
gotta
not
have
allowed.
jobs. So make some jobs for these kids. That's what I say.
All of that.